Okay, the video this morning is going to be talking to Americans specifically who want to become English teachers in Asia. And if you're from the States, the documentation for you is a little different than it would be, say, for somebody from England or from Canada. The process is similar but not the same for every country in Asia. The things that you'll need to prepare ahead of time, you'll need your original degree, and you'll have to bring a university-issued copy of your original parchment with you when you come to Asia. You'll need to get a certified true copy made at a notary or at the university, and then that will need to be authenticated for use in Asia. For countries like South Korea, that process will mean having the Secretary of State for the state that the university is in affix an apostille to your degree. If you're going to places like Thailand or China, then you'll need to get the certified true copy will need to be authenticated by the Thai embassy closest to you in the United States before you fly. The next thing you'll need are some official transcripts of your university record. And these are usually required by the immigration service in the countries that you're going to. And it's advisable to bring 2, 3, 4 sets with you. If you change visas, change employers, change countries, you're going to need another set. So you might as well just throw them in your suitcase. Get 3, 4, 5 sets and throw them in your suitcase and bring them with you, along with either your original degree or your university issued replacement for your degree and your authenticated, certified, notarized copy of your degree. The next thing that you'll need is a police check. For some countries like South Korea, they'll require an FBI check, and that will then have to be have an apostille affixed to it by the National Secretary of State's office in Washington. So, and that'll require a special stamp or seal on it when you get it from the FBI. So when you order it, make sure that they know that you're going to need an apostille on it, so they can make sure that it's ready to get sent off. You can also use channelers. There are various companies that will do the process for you. They're not cheap, but they're a little bit quicker and a little bit easier to deal with than dealing with the FBI and Secretary of State in Washington by yourself. For other countries, just the simple police check or FBI check is adequate. Take that down to the local embassy or the nearest embassy of the country you want to work in and have it certified as authentic for use abroad. So if you're going to, think about working in China, you'll need the Chinese embassy to certify it, or the Chinese consulate if you're not in Washington or close to Washington. If you're going to Thailand or Cambodia, Laos, Vietnam, then you get the closest consulate of that country. If you want, if you think you may be looking at 2 or 3 countries, get 2 or 3 copies of your police check done. When you order 1, order 3. And that way you've got them. They usually have between 6 months for South Korea and up to a year for countries in Southeast Asia before they make you get a new one. So it has a little bit of a shelf life. Your degree and the certified copy of your degree and your transcripts have an unlimited shelf life. They're good forever. But the criminal background check, your CBC, your police clearance, your police check, they have a limited shelf life of between 6 months and a year, depending on the country you're looking at going to. The last thing you need to do is update your passport. There's nothing more difficult than trying to get a 1-year visa in a passport that's only got 9 months of validity left in it. They typically won't do it. They'll make you go get a new passport first, or they'll give you a passport or a visa that's only good until the expiry date of your passport, and then you'll have to go through the whole visa renewal process after you get your replacement passport. Getting replacement passports while you're abroad is awkward, time-consuming, and difficult. Whereas at home, it's just a matter of popping down to the passport office and just getting it done. So, even if you've got 2 years left in your passport, if you think you may be abroad for more than a couple of years, it's penny wise and pound foolish to travel on a passport that's more than half used. Get a new one. Because living abroad as an expat, you're going to use your passport all the time. When you check into a hotel, when you get on an airplane, when you travel across a border, when you get services in a bank, they're going to want that passport. And if your passport gets down to where it's got less than 6 months validity remaining on it, then you can't do anything except fly home. So make sure you've got your passport renewed or updated. And if you walk in the passport office and you say, I want a replacement passport, and they say, well, it's got 2 years left. Why do you need a replacement? Because I'm going to go live abroad for the next 5 years and I'd like a new passport before I fly. Thank you very much. They don't have a problem giving you a new passport. They just take the old one, give you the new one, they void the old one, and they give them both back to you. They no longer put extra pages in passports. That process has been stopped. So get a new passport. If you start running short of pages or start running short of dates in your passport, then be sure to renew early, rather than get caught out and run out of pages or run out of dates or months. As a fairly strict rule in most countries in Asia, you cannot cross an international border, even if it's only for a day trip, if there is less than 6 months validity remaining on your passport. So renew early, keep it current, make sure you've got lots of pages in your passport, and if you start running short, you get down to 5 pages, the last 5 pages in your passport, it's time to think about starting the renewal process, because that takes time. So make sure your passports are ready. Now that you've got your documents in order, it's time to start looking at places that you want to work. And one of the things that new teachers always look at is, well, how much am I going to get paid? While it's nice to look at the bottom line of the salary package, it's not everything in your salary package. So look at all of the different parts of the package. For example, in South Korea, you'll earn about 2.1 million Korean won. It's about $1,800 US at today's exchange rates. And people say, well, I can make more than that sitting at home, maybe. But in addition to that, you've got a free apartment and a free airplane ticket back and forth every year from the States to South Korea, included as part of the package. So that $1,800 or $1,850 a month that you're receiving for your salary is pretty much all disposable income. The only expenses you have to pay out of that for living are your groceries and toiletries. Everything else is pocket money, spending money, travel money. You know, if you're going to Japan, on the other hand, you'll make a little bit more money, but the cost of living is going to be higher. And you have to deal with things like paying for your apartment deposits and your key money and your rent, because those are not included. You know, so you have to look at the whole package before you make a final decision. And I'll talk a little bit more later in the next clip.